My humble pranams to Brahmashri Patriji, Swarnamala Patriji, and to all the divine souls who are connected here today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, I think as discussed on last week, we are going to cover 1,000 Seeds of Joy by Ananda Karunesh. And this is you can say this is like a Bible for the PSSM. I think we have covered Buddha's wife. We have covered Untold Story of Sita. And this is a third book that we are going to cover. And I tell you, I promise you, this is going to be definitely going to be a very, very interesting journey, because there is so much truth that we are getting to know from this book. And Master Devi Balasingham always talks about this book. And she said, every single human being on this planet Earth should read this. Because when we read, we will understand all the truth that has been hidden from us all this while. So without much ado, before we start the book, I would like to call upon Master Abita to talk about the author and how he came about writing this book. Abita, over to you, Ma.
Humble pronouns to Patriji, Swarnamala Patriji, PSSM and Cosmic Shifters. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Akka. I'm deeply humbled for this opportunity. This book is also like a continuation of Untold Story of Sita Mata. So that's what the author depicts. So the author Ananda Karunesh, he got into the spirituality journey when he was 19 years. He got into Zen. He was he was initiated to Zen. And after 25 years of meditation and spiritual practice, still he couldn't understand the meaning of joy or the wisdom of joy. So, but he understood when he got introduced to Goddess Lakshmi. And Goddess Lakshmi directly started speaking to him. You people might wonder how Lakshmi will connect to him, but that's what has happened. And Goddess Lakshmi is an ascended master. So there are a lot of ascended masters who are helping and protecting this Mother Earth with their love, like how Sita Mata was full of love. There's so many ascended masters like Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Saraswati. So Goddess Lakshmi and Saraswati, along a group of soul tribe in India, they, because of their evolution, they found so many, they have given so many messages, which is hidden, as Tilaka told. Even in Untold Story of Sita, we understand a different perspective. From my childhood, I had a question, why Sita Mata was asked to go into fire. Everyone used to praise Rama, but I was not praising Lord Rama for one reason. How can he tell a woman to go into the fire? That was one thing holding me. But after reading Untold Story of Sita Mata, that is clear. That is actually false. Like same way in this book, so many false things which has been manipulated by the male energy has been revealed. And Ananda Karunesh, he himself has felt the goddess Lakshmi energy so many times, and people around him also has felt. And one day when he was getting ready for the Halloween party, so that time he was dressed like an Indian prince, and his friend Amy was in the entrance waiting to reach him to go for the party. She was suddenly like seeing him. She was like seeing a beautiful goddess with so much of joy, peace, love, and she was wondering from where on earth, all these my life, I've never admired a woman like this. Ananda Karunesh is a man. He's dressed like a prince, but Amy feels like a goddess, a divine feminine energy in that on that particular instance when he was when she's nearing him. And only after getting near his eyes, she understood that, oh, that is his friend Ananda who is dressed up like a prince. So that few moments was like a moment of trance or joy, which happens only when you surrender. So what the author says is, we have learned many lessons through pain. Pain ripens us. And this pain is not only in this Janma, so many Janmas we have ripened enough through pain. So that's enough done. Now it's time for joyful surrender, be open, and to learn and connect to the higher wisdom. So that's what he says. And Amy had that profound experience only because she was open. Had she was been logical thinking that point of time, she wouldn't have experienced goddess Lakshmi energy there in Ananda Karunesh, who was dressed up like a prince. So this was one instance he's quoting. And so along with his soul friend Jade, he got many messages in 2007. 2007 to 9, 7 to 8, 1 year he was working along with Jade. He got so many messages from goddess Lakshmi. Then from 2012, when he traveled to Venice, that's where he got deeper connect with Lakshmi goddess. He got so many messages. He was feeling like as if she knows him well and he knows her well. And even had this question: how did she choose me? So she asked this question to goddess Lakshmi, and she says that I didn't choose you, you chose me. And so how is she speaking to him? Through intuition, through strong feelings, through words when he goes around. So that's how goddess Lakshmi speaks to him. And so this book is full of 2/3 of the information is directly through Ananda Karunesh, and 1/3 is from Jade, his soul friend Jade. So Ananda Karunesh reveals the hidden facts of like how there were so many hidden facts in Sita Mata, in Ramayana, in so many scriptures, even in Mahabharata. So he unravels everything in this entire book. So the prologue will also give you how that is going to happen. And over to you, Tilaka, to discuss on that.
Thank you, Abhitama. So before we go into that, there's this book has a few parts, you know? Part 1, let me see where it is. Okay, the book is actually organized thematically in a sense that it doesn't follow the chronology. Yeah? It is organized thematically, and all the answers of the questions were given by the goddesses. The first part of the book begins with goddess Saraswati. She gives new insight about the different levels of consciousness, which harmonizes the core teachings of different spiritual pantheons, that means a group such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, and other ancient goddess religion. Okay. In part 2 of this book, Goddess Lakshmi reveals how human fell into suffering as patriarch. Patriarch meaning the male energy. Yeah? How the male energy ancient started putting their power about 6,500 years ago. So the spread of patriarch energy wounded much of humanity over subsequent years, creating subsequent millennia, actually thousands of years, yeah, creating the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine aspect in both male and female. Okay. And she corrects many misinterpretations of enlightened women in history, such as Eve and Mary Magdalene in Christianity, and a whole incarnation such as Sita. That was written, Sita's story was written to diminish the power of women. We all know about it when we read the book Untold Story of Sita, yeah? And she also talks about, here she talks about Radha, Sita with Rama, Radha and Draupadi with Krishna, and Yasodhara with Buddha, from the divine feminine perspective of Sita, Radha, Draupadi, and Yashodhara. Okay, and through this, she gives us new insight about chakras and the elements that are different from our existing knowledge about this. I tell you, this book is going to reveal a lot of truth, a lot of things that we didn't know all this while. Okay. Goddess Lakshmi also reveals how she and her soulmates, including Goddess Saraswati, Goddess Parvati, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and others from a large soul tribe from the ancient India, helped create the two great religions of Hinduism and Buddhism, highlighting the transformation of her soulmates and herself in these incarnations. Okay, and Goddess Lakshmi shares how human can rise above their suffering at this time. Okay, this time you all know it's full of turmoil and political nurturing and all those things. So this book is coming at the right time where the shift of consciousness is happening. So everyone should understand why it is happening. Okay. And part 6 of the book, he shares his own experience, personal transformation with Goddess Lakshmi. Part 7 of the book, Goddess Lakshmi reveals that humanity is currently transitioning, that means changing to a matriarchal era. That means divine feminine energy era, just like Satyuga, a time when everything was peak of enlightenment. Okay, the final revelation made him particularly curious, how will humanity transition to this new era? He asked this question, and here in the preface, that's a preface, Goddess Mahalakshmi has given the answers. I'll be reading the preface to you later. So here, has Abhita has covered, I think she has covered the preface. So the prologue is here, Mahalakshmi, Goddess Mahalakshmi is speaking to each one of us here, okay? So here she says, Namaste, loved ones. As we transition back to the matriarch era of Earth, we will witness a global movement that empowers the feminine so that human can become whole again. Okay, here I am taking the liberty to read line by line because Master Devi emphasized that we should go line by line to understand the whole book. Okay, so the rise of the empowered feminine will make all humans, male, female, or transgender, come together in true equality with each other, rooted in love. So they are talking about love. And she talks about primordial joy. So primordial joy will be explained later in the next chapter, yeah? While women will ultimately assume much more power than they currently have now, they will not seize the power with arrogance or wounded energies of aggression, ambition, and competition, greed. Instead, power will be received from a place of joy, compassion, nurturance, and wisdom. So that is the female energy that we are talking about. The rise of the empowered feminine will have a profound impact on the current social and political system. Okay, you can see in most of the places, the women are actually rising. There are a lot of organizations heralded by the women, and actually, moving forward with the women power. Actually, women will join with other women in small and large group across social, political, and religious divides to undo the patriarchal structures that have ruled humanity for millennia. I think that has already started. We can see this in our group itself, In PSSM also, we can see lots of female are coming out, divine the female groups, talking about female energy, how to correct the situation, how to share love and joy, in terms of relationship, everything. We all are actually talking about it. We are actually in the right path, okay? Yes, you can already see the signs of these times as millions of women are joining together to bring abuses such as sexual misconduct to light in the highest places of power. That one we already see. I think we have a few organizations. I think Me Too was such a powerful organization in India, but here it wasn't that powerful. But I think a lot of women are actually coming forward and talking about all these issues. Such movement will gain strength not by women opposing men, but women coming together in joy and compassion to heal the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine energies in all humans. So that is what is happening with our compassionate listening also. Similar to how Mahatma Gandhi used non-violence movement, not against the British people, but he wanted to unite the whole of India to come to achieve freedom. And that's what he got it. The same energy is going to be used here also. The empowered feminine in both men and women will allow joy to dissipate sorrow, love to triumph over hate, compassion to dissolve anger, and nurturement to replace exploitation. So beautifully said, negative energy taking over, the positive energy taking over the negative energy. Once the existing structure are cleaned and transformed with higher spiritual energies, there shall be the most exquisite dance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine in the heart of all humans. It's a beautiful future for us to for all of us to look forward to. And here she says she has invited ascended goddesses from different pantheon to help humans with this difficult transition. Together, all the goddesses are sending their divine light to all the humans as they hold their hands in a circle of love around Mother Earth. Okay, the whole Mother Earth is actually surrounded by all the divine feminine energy. They were all holding the entire earth with their love, with their primordial joy. Okay, with that, that is the message from Mahalakshmi. Mahadevi, here written is Mahadevi Lakshmi. And there's an invocation of Mahadevi's mantras that you all can read at every time. Yeah. So with that, we are moving forward to part chapter 1, and I would like to call Master Asha to take the part 1, the joy of a new creation. The title is Emptiness is Infinite Presence. And it is actually a question and answer session. So let us listen to Master Asha. Over to you, Master Asha.
Thank you, ma'am. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yes, okay. So first of all, pranam to Master Patriji and Madam Patriji and all the gurus who have come in my life, in my need. And my spiritual, the first who introduced me is my sister. Thanks to everybody, and namaste to all of you masters. And yes, one word. First of all, not one word, one or two sentences maybe. This book, even though I've not read the whole book, the very first chapter, and it's really fascinating. So, and it was really scary to attempt this because there is so much to understand, and I don't know if I have understood properly to really put forward. So, but I'm just making an effort. So let me start. So with the first chapter, emptiness is infinite presence. So here the author welcomes or says pranam to goddess Saraswati. So the few things that struck me here, that's why I want to mention is, first of all, even she says namaste and she says thank you. See, she's a higher consciousness soul, if you want to call that, or if you want to call as Mata or goddess, it's each one's choice. So, being such a higher being, yet she says thank you. That's something struck me. So that's where something I have to learn, that first being gratitude. So even though she's a higher conscious divine being, she's telling thank you to the author, whom she's actually doing a favor for us by giving all this. So that's first thing we have to learn here. Thank you. So, and she says this is a gift, the words, the teachings that she's putting forward to all of us. It's a gift. Why this is a gift? Because this will bring joy and harmony between us, between our human being, our relationships, and also it will lift us in such a way that we get connected to the spirit. See, all these problems or upheavals that all of us are facing in this planet is because of we have lost touch from our own self. So that's why she says this is going to do that. So, and then she says it's not like these teachings are forgotten, but it's been lost. I mean, sorry, it's been lost. It's forgotten and it's lost. So we are trying to bring these teachings to all of you so that it'll heal you and transform your lives. That's what she says. And also one more thing is the energy in these words or these teachings is such that it will release your karmas. So we have been carrying lots of bags of karmas through lifetimes that we have been coming and going. So she says she's going to help, she and other divine beings, Mata Lakshmi and all, many other ascended masters are going to help us release that karma so that we don't have to come back again and, lead this life. I hope even this Swadhyaya is going to put one such an effort for my baggage so that I can be released from So I hope so. I hope so. It's journey for all of us. So so that's the first few points that she mentions. And here again, she's talking about emptiness. So the way she puts it with an example is, she says, when birds fly, they do not always fly straight, but rather along with the winding current. So here there is the key thing that we have to accept is the acceptance. So the birds, they have accepted and they've surrendered for the moment by moment flow of the wind. So that is something we have to learn from birds. So that's what she's trying to convey to us. Accept, surrender. So it will take you, ultimately, you are going to reach your destination. You're not going to get lost. You will reach. But the beautiful thing of your journey is, if you accept and surrender, your journey will be maybe more easier, beautiful, happy. So that's what she's trying to tell. So now comes the first question. What is the nature of emptiness? Yeah, so and yeah, before that, I'll tell, she's also mentioning that her task as Mata Saraswati that she's doing is, she's helping us to release our negative vibrations, negative thoughts, and so that we connect to ourself and feel our soul, rather than just being in this body and being in this, all these materialistic, we are all, ultimately we are our souls. We have just worn this dress, this body as Asha, and we are in front of each other. So but we are actual souls. So she says she wants to help humans heal and reach their own soul. So that's what she's going to do, and that's her task. So coming to the first question, what is the nature of emptiness? Yeah, so this was something even for me big. I tried, I mean, honestly, I read this chapter, I don't know how many times, but yet to put everything together was a big task for me, because even for me to understand the nature of emptiness, so it is something, see, I mean, at least I being in so much materialistic that I am, so emptiness is like some concept which it was like a PhD research for me. So how do how do I really get to this? If there is everything empty, then what is present then, right? So that's what she says. The basic nature, the primordial nature of emptiness is the infinite presence. She puts both the words, emptiness and presence. So how do we link this? So that's the beauty of this. So it's like the sound of silence. When you say silence, it's already silent, then what is the sound? So but I understood it through that, because that's what she says. Even as then the next question he goes is, how is emptiness infinite presence? So she says emptiness is infinite presence because it has no center and no boundaries. It's nowhere, but it's everywhere. It's nothing, but it's everything. It's not me, you, but it's everyone. It's all of us. It's everything around us, even a tiniest atom, but it's nothing. So again, she says the emptiness that we speak of is empty of everything that you know, all thought, emotions, matter, energy, time, space. It's beyond everything. So, and she says all the angels, goddesses are growing faster into this emptiness. So they've come from this emptiness and they are growing. And all of us, not just the masters or goddesses, all of us, because we are this tiny soul from a bigger soul. So I'm just a part of higher consciousness. So this higher consciousness we may call God or higher being, but I can also call it's higher consciousness of myself, and this is a part of my higher consciousness whom you're seeing. So I'm just trying to understand it that way. So that's what she's telling. So we've all experienced it from a undivided whole. We all come from a core, and we are a part of that. We are going to come, so something like shunya, we have come from shunya and we are going back to shunya. That's what it is. That's what she tried to explain. But again, at this point, I had the same question which I read that the author says, how can emptiness, which is empty, be experienced as? If it is empty, then what is present then, right? So if there is nothing, then, so that's what she says, it cannot be told through words. It's something you have to feel. It dissolves, it evolves, it emerges. That's what she says. It is you have asked the question you've asked dissolves as one awakens into infinite presence, which is empty of everything one knows, including the past experience of this presence. That is, when she says past experience, it can be either of this life or past life or many lives that we have come along. So that's what she says. It's a miraculous aspect of emptiness. It remains new even after. This is something which I want to highlight. Even after one has tasted its presence again and again, a million times, everything seems new. I mean, I don't know how many times I've come on this earth. Maybe I was a long time ago, even in Treta Yuga or Dwapar Yuga, I don't know. But still, now this life, everything seems so new to me, because I've forgotten, because I've everything is new. That's what she's trying to tell. And this emptiness is I-ness, otherness, is that, like, you, me, everything. So, and she says it's expanding infinity. It's an infinity that has no form, no self, and it's timeless. So next question, which he's asked. So is emptiness like dying? So if there is nothing, it's I'm not there, right? So if I'm not there, then I'm dead. So she says, yeah, maybe you can say like that, but it's beyond living and dying, because we are beyond this body. We are a soul. We are everywhere. That's what she's trying to convey. We are nowhere, but we are everywhere, because we are a part of that higher soul. So then, or we can, like, as in PSSM, we call that awareness, Jagruti. So, or Nirvana or Samadhi, that's what she says. You can use different terminologies, but ultimately it's all the same. We are everywhere. So that's what we have to go to that state. That's when we feel this emptiness. It's a state of mind rather than a physical body or physical being somewhere. It's a state of mind. So, and then he asks, how is this? She talks about primordial joy. So he asks, how is this joy different from ordinary joy? So this ordinary joy, like, say, ordinary joy in my sense is eating an ice cream or a candy can be a joyful experience for me, but that is limited to this body and this mind, because I'm eating and my mind is happy because I'm eating butterscotch ice cream. But then primordial joy is beyond the body. That is something which the soul feels. So that's why she calls it as primordial joy. And she says here that since individual souls manifest from these divine beings, this primordial joy exists in all feelings of soul. So that's including joy, abundance, love, gratitude, compassion, every possible positive aspect of life or aspect of being on this earth is the primordial joy. So then she says, life can be experienced with profound, inexpressible fullness in the presence of this primordial joy. So next comes the next question. How is love related? So we all talk about love energy. Love energy is something which she says it flows with this primordial joy. And I think most of us or all of us in this meditation, when we do, we have experienced this love energy. At least just 2 days back, after Patriji left his body, I mean, vacated his body, I was just sitting in meditation. And honestly, Masters, I just felt that he's showering me with love. So I felt it. So this is something, it moves all of us, love energy. So she says, love is the flowing of primordial joy, and which is from the infinite emptiness into the realms where emptiness is not. Again, it is empty, but not empty. It's like that. So the ocean of primordial joy stretches from the deepest infinities of emptiness to the heavenly realms of form, formlessness, to the physical realms of form and density, manifesting itself into multitude of colors that are experienced as soul feelings. So what you see, I understand that the word that she's mentioned as multitude of colors, it might be pointing to feelings or pointing to the experiences, or it's a mix of everything that, and she terms it as soul feelings. And now he asks, what is a soul feeling? So she says it's a feeling that dissolves one's ego and expands the awareness of one's soul. So that's what all of us are in this journey, because we want to let go of this ego and raise above. That's what we are all doing. So that's what she says, that's the soul feeling. So unlike emotion, which gets stuck in the finite system of mind, soul feelings is beyond this. That's to the infinity of soul. So thank you, masters. I don't know how far I've conveyed. It's really a scary effort that I've made. So I hope Mata Lakshmi and Saraswati, my photo is right here, picture. So I've just before starting, I just, I bowed to her, told her, please walk me through this, because she has told and she's right here sitting in front of me. So thank you, masters. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, Master Asha. Even I could not understand the whole thing. Even I read 2-3 times. Initially, last year I bought the book. This book I bought last year. When I read a few chapters, I couldn't understand anything.
Yes.
But today, as I'm sitting and listening to you, like it's Mata itself talking to us,
Oh God.
Beautiful, Master. Thank you so much. My
Thank you.
gratitude to you.
Thank
To
you.
the Divine Masters. Okay, and the next person I would like to call is Sri Devi Garu. You are in charge of chapter 2.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible? You're in mute, ma'am.
Sorry, yeah, audible, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
You have been on mute, ma'am. Till now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I'm able to hear you.
Yes, go ahead, Master.
Yes, ma'am. So, friends, Anand Karnesh ji has presented this book for all of us in such a beautiful way that it was really a wonderful feeling to read this book along with him. It was as though Mahalakshmi and Saraswati Devi or all masters are speaking directly to us when we go on reading this book. It's such a beautiful journey, friends. So, friends, infinite feelings, creativity. This is a wonderful journey. And I like to thank Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji for introducing us this wonderful book. Well, he was the one who introduced us. Otherwise, we would not, our consciousness would have not reached Anand Karnesh ji. Well, at that time, when this book was recommended by Patriji, that year on December, Mahila Dhyan Mahachakram, all the 3 Devi Matas, statues, well, not statues, their portraits were presented on the stage. It was as though the Mahila Karakramam was going on along with Patriji. They were also present there. That was a wonderful feeling. Well, even Anand Karnesh ji also attended that program at that time. We all had a wonderful time with him also. So, friends, the next chapter that is we are going to learn is about infinite soul feelings. Well, in the previous chapter, he refers to this. So, our Anand Karnesh ji asks some more information and details about this. When I first heard this soul feeling word, well, I came to this word from Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji in his daily messages. At that time, I had a doubt. Well, a soul is eternal and it's everything. Till that time, I never had an idea that even it has a feeling. How can a soul have a feeling? That was my question. It was a unrelated thing to me, that which I could not understand. How can a soul have a feeling? That's what we have been learning up to till now. Well, we are in this body, we have our mind, we have our intellect. So through that, we'll have feelings. Till now, I was in opinion that not only sad or angry, whatever the feeling. Only these are the feelings. And happiness, well, even they are also feelings, but all these are connected to we, us, in our body, when we are in our body. And when we are in our soul state, we'll not be having any feelings. That was the nirguna sthiti, feelingless state. I was thinking like that. A soul is that. Well, the first time I heard this, so I had a urge to first get this book and read the total book. For I want to know that. Well, sir has given it elaborately itself, but the feel, when we touch the book and get connect to that energy, it's a different feel. So first thing I did after getting that book is to read this soul feelings along with whatever previous ma'am said, that yes, he looked like a Devi, Devata, a beautiful goddess. Even Anand Karnesh himself was, it was like he has taken a beautiful incarnation as a beautiful goddess. That was the feel that his friend got up to she got near him. So friends, when we connect with that surrenderness, we become them. As usually they say that when we are with any other person for 6 months, we become they and they become us. So when we surrender to them, this is a beautiful situation that we get into with connecting with the whole universe, with the Mahadevis, whoever have incarnated on this earth for so many times and they have ascended. Only the ascended masters will have this name Mahadevi. That is what Anand Karunesh ji expresses himself in these books. So coming to infinite feelings, he asks, can we continue our discussion about soul feelings? Yes. What is emptiness? What is soul feeling? How can an emptiness have a feeling? Isn't it? Well, for this, he explains that in this emptiness, as this infinite emptiness expands into higher vibrations, what it does is it creates itself. When we know all the cooking abilities, when we are familiar with all the cooking abilities, we start experiment, doing new dishes. In the same way, when this infinite emptiness expands itself, it starts creating friends. It starts creating, but what it creates is opposite to create emptiness. Contrast of emptiness is what will be created at that moment. Only through that we experience and we understand this emptiness. So it starts creating itself as that is what is not empty. So friends, actually the creation happens in a descending levels of consciousness. The soul feelings, when we are in higher vibrations, we will be in soul consciousness. Infinite emptiness. When the levels of consciousness decreases, we divide it. Automatically, the emptiness divides itself as soul consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. That is what we are all made up of. When we have to incarnate on this beautiful earth, we have to divide ourselves in these three. So only then we can experience our experiences on this plane, three-dimensional plane. So if we have to experience and understand all these levels of consciousness, it will be like dreams within dreams, dreams within dreams, until everything becomes emptiness. Even this mind consciousness or body consciousness or soul consciousness is also empty, but it has to merge itself in higher levels of consciousness, friends. So when the consciousness decreases, it dissipates itself. in all these high realms. These soul sensations, soul feelings, all this will be merged into soul consciousness in heavenly realms. Even this point we get in untold story of Sita also. When Ravana was forced to take his birth on this earth plane. When he was in Vaikunta, he couldn't do meditation, and he couldn't merge himself in that higher heavenly realm. So he had to take his birth on this earth to understand all these things. So friends, when we meditate and when we are in this higher vibrations, all the soul feelings and soul sensations will get merged. Same as this body has sensations. If a thorn is pricked, it pains. It has a sensation. When we are connected with our soul, this sensation will be merged into a soul consciousness. When we are in soul state and a thorn pricks us, it doesn't hurt our body. Even though the blood will be oozing out, it won't hurt us, as it is in a soul feeling of a joyness. In that joy, the pain dissolves itself in this pain, in joyness state, in this blissful state, friends. So in that state, there is no separation. But as the consciousness decreases itself, the light, and what that is love, and sound that is bliss gets in these physical realms, we suffer a lot compared to heavenly realms. This delicate essence, that is a small veil which is separating us from experiencing the divine femininity, is understanding this plain and simple, delicate essence has to be understood by us. It is a very magnificent thing, friends. But in this physical realm, we are not able to understand that, so we cloud ourselves with this suffering in this realm. So friends, what we have to understand is, that is what Anand Karnesh ji is explaining to us, is whenever a creation has to be happen, it has to be happen from a place of emptiness. When it explodes with joy. So creation happened from emptiness with an explosion of joy. So that is the first soul feeling. Joy is a feeling, unconditional. This is not a joy related to something which we desire and get it. This is not related to body or mind or any other thing. This is the primary joy. So this feeling is the first soul feeling, as explained by Anand Karnesh. So friends, one more thing he explains is this: these soul feelings or to joy are like colors to light. When a light is focused on a prism, it dissipates itself in weak by hour, 7 colors. So same thing, a soul has a feeling, a light has so many colors. In the same way, soul is one and it has all the feelings. This is one thing that joy can be beautifully explained. Though it is invisible, it contains light. Is actually the light we see is when we are in emptiness state, we see just all over spread. The light will be spread in such a way that we can't differentiate that this is the light or this is darkness. Since we know darkness, we are able to identify that. Actually, when we are in that soul state, there will be no difference. So this light is actually invisible, but it contains all frequencies of colors. So in the same way, soul feelings also arises from the emptiness. Same as joy, with the explosion of joy, the creation started. So in the same way, thousands of seeds of joy are there in a seed state, friends. They can be experienced by us in this realm through our mind, body, and soul. These finite soul feelings, there are infinite soul feelings and finite feelings, friends. Or so many, we can experience them in very, very, very vast situations. So friends, when we speak of experiencing them in mind, body, and soul, they are actually different consciousness states. So they lie on a continuum of one reality, friends. Actually, they are not different. There are not many differences in that. But when we go through, one second, friends. Live kalda, mama.
While we're waiting for Master Sridevi Garu, let us ponder on all the messages she has given so far. I know it's a tough subject to understand. You need to do a lot of reading to understand this. And Master Sridevi Garu is doing a wonderful job of explaining it explicitly, beautifully. Thank you so much, dear. Over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So, friends, when we have to experience this emptiness, this joy, it's beautifully presented in this book that we know. Actually, it is present in the gap between our thoughts, friends. So, friends, we have to be in awareness of our breath to experience all these things. It's an ever-expanding, beautiful thing, friends. One second, ma'am. Water, I'll drink water and come. So, yes, friends. So, when we are in awareness with this breath, automatically the mind dissolves into the body, and then this body feelings will merge itself into the soul, and it's an expanding experience of soul feelings, friends. It's a soft center between in breath and out breath. When we have just that awareness, when we breathe in and breathe out, the gap where the space is there, we can experience this soul experience of primordial joy. It opens a vast, so friends, it opens a vast emptiness in ourselves. We start experiencing wonderfully this joy, this emptiness. It's actually, for us, it may be not able to be expressed in words, but if you are able to just understand this wonderful feeling, it's a joy, friends. It's nothing but pure joy. This joy we can experience in the form of joy, love, freedom, peace, wisdom, creativity. Actually, he gives a big list in this wonderful book, sir. Ecstasy, laughter, happiness, abundance. I never knew that actually we are having so many feelings. He says that 1,000 ways are there, 1,000 seeds are there in this. So I never experienced all this. But after listing out all this list, well, my heart was full of joy, friends. Even happiness, abundance, compassion, celebration, gratitude. I never thought that all these are soul feelings till that time. Equanimity, harmony, silence, grace, beauty, reverence, passion, devotion, faith, surrender. All these are the list that Anand Karunesh ji, he himself took out the book and read it in Dhyana Mahila Chakram, friends. Actually, he was also not he was not by heart at this. So this has to be read out. Trust, kindness, mercy, forgiveness, hope, empathy, curiosity. Yes, curiosity is also a soul feeling. Well, when I first experienced this, when I first read this, even curiosity is a soul feeling. I never thought that. Well, mercy, forgiveness, these are the soul feelings. Acceptance, intimacy, solitude, sensuality, discriminant, dispassion, responsibility, courage, humility, simplicity, honesty, innocence, confidence, strength, security, and many, many, many others are there, friends. So, Anand Karunesh ji, when he's listening to all this, he himself asks another question. Uh, he expresses his doubt like this: are you suggesting that soul feelings become less and less in order that you have listed this? Well, the question is, he, as Mahadevi has presented herself in a long list, he's asking that when from starting with joy, when we get to the point of strength or security, are the soul feelings are going to become less and less? She's asking that way. Anand Karunesh ji is, well, actually, all the soul feelings are infinite, friends, but there are some finite soul feelings like confidence and security. Well, love, joy are infinite feelings, but when it comes to confidence and security, they are finite. They have limitations. They have their own limitations. When we don't understand these qualities, we lose our confidence, we lose our security. We see life on this earth as though there is no security, as though we are not safe. We lack that when we suffer a lot. So our confidence will be losing ourselves. Self-confidence will be lost. So these feelings are limited. But when they merge with joy and love, when that is the higher soul feelings, then these all confidence and security, like finite feelings, will become empty. Even they become infinite. So when expressing this soul feelings, he says that language is a barrier for me. I don't get words for expressing this soul feelings. For language has few words. Describing all the feeling is not possible for herself also. Well, when we have to put something like I'm crying, you can't express the feel. But when our eyes start, from our eyes start, the water starts flowing, automatically everyone knows that we are crying. So words limit our feelings, friends. So when we experience these soul feelings, we experience ourselves these soul feelings, only then we'll be able to understand that. When we say a tree, well, okay, a tree, that's a word. But when we go to a tree and experience the tree with ourselves, even we get connected to the tree consciousness, isn't that? So soul feelings are what is he saying? That it cannot be expressed in all the languages with few words. So friends, what we have to understand is this here is a experience, whatever experience or whatever consciousness you are in, all the soul feelings are expressed or experienced by you are different to each and every person. And the feelings of the depth of the level is also different. It's not the same thing. What we say, well, the fever may be same for each and everyone, but the intensity, the depth, the suffering they go through is different from one person to another person. So when this suffering, in the same way, all the soul feelings are in this same way, friends. So what we have to do is, when we have to experience this emptiness, when we have this thought of experience this emptiness, when we choose this, all our soul feelings will get merged into peace, freedom, and it will be emptiness again. So the same taste of emptiness will be tasted by us, friends. So the next question Anand Karnesh ji asks is, why do you emphasize primordial joy over other soul feelings? Well, we can have a thought that primordial joy is soul feeling. Others are all the other feelings. We can be categorized as some other thing, as body, soul, and mind. But why are you emphasizing only on primordial joy? So the answer given by Devi Mata is because joy raises our vibrations, friends. Every soul feels and allow them to merge into newer and vaster soul feelings. Only this joy, when we are in a unconditional joy, blissful state, all the feelings, whatever the feelings are there, they merge itself into this joy. So I'm emphasizing this joy is the answer given to us, friends. So when we are in this primordial joy, all the significant meanings of the other feelings will get merged into this oneness, friends. Wow, what an answer given by Mahadevi Lakshmi. So the next question asked by
Master, Master, can we stop here because this is
Yes,
a
yes.
very heavy subject
Sure.
and we have exceeded the time.
Sure.
Next week, please come again and explain to us the next. I think we have another 3 more pages to go, 3 or 4 pages to go. So can you please come again next week?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you
So
for
with
giving
that-
me this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Master. Thank you for a wonderful explanation. I could understand that the subject, the questions, and the answers quite well after the explanation by all the masters. So now let us open for questions or feedback. Okay, any questions? Another 5 more minutes, we will take questions, any kind of questions, whether you understood this book or do you think it's, you know, it is a beautiful book, but the first few chapters are very challenging to all of us.
Yes.
Sri Devi Garu, Asha has done a wonderful job of explaining the whole thing. And I would like to ask this question to Master Devi. How was the session today?
Oh my God. Wow, what a great, unable to explain, ma'am. I was overwhelming with joy because I waited for this long 2 to 2.5 years after reading this book because I want to hear about this book from others because I have talked too much, and I have enjoyed a lot. And this book has transformed me like anything. I enjoyed all the thousands of joy, and I was in primordial joy exactly now. So So really, I was overwhelming with the tears, and I was happy. I was talking with the goddesses and all. Oh my purpose! It was such a nice thing. I don't know how to explain this, because you all have to read and enjoy this book. If not understand also, you have to talk.
Yes.
Whatever you understand, you just talk. Even which language you know, you can talk. So that is the thing. And I want to talk about this primordial joy, because that joy gives so much of energy. One movie, we were all seeing this, Bahubali. Bahubali first. So the Bahubali entering scene will be there. So you all put in YouTube and see Bahubali entering scene. So there, nobody knows Bahubali. Everybody knows Bahubali died, and they saw the son, and only her mother knows, oh, my son is coming. So she was waiting that. See the YouTube, Bahubali entering scene. That is the primordial joy. Each and every person there who are undergone so much of suffering, no, they saw the joy. So even I understood after reading this book. This book came miraculously to my hands, and I go through this and gave many sessions. And when I started reading, I don't understand even a bit, because it's so spiritual English. So nice to hear. I swear, after finishing this book, the end of the season, you all will be balanced with masculine and feminine energies. That is the purpose of our life. All because we have came from the Saraswati energies. So only we are giving this Swadhyaya. So Saraswati is our soul clan. So this is our purpose. So masters, this is our book, our purpose, our history. Read all. Thank you, Tila ma'am. Thank you for calling me. Thank you. Love you lot. Love you lot. Love you lot.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Master Devi has encouraged me all the way in all the events that I've been doing. So with that, my gratitude goes to you, Devi Ma, and to all the other masters, Master Asha, Master Sri Devi. Sri Devi has connected with me in divine female energy sessions, and she has done a wonderful session, And so we all understand about the divine female, masculine energy, and we are the embodiments. We call ourselves the warriors, the female warriors. So we are all our warriors. All of us are warriors. All of us on a mission. All of us are here sharing our love. And now we're going to share our primordial joy with everyone. So with that, thank you everyone for joining me today.
I have a question.
Yes, my dear.
It's not related to the book, but I want to ask Sridevi ma'am if she's a teacher, because the way she explains, I think even if I'm sitting in her LKG or the kindergarten class about spirituality, because I'm literally in the, what do you say, Tottilo, I don't know how to say the cradle.
Cradle.
I'm in
Cradle.
seeing this.
We are not in cradle. We are all masters. Remember? All masters.
Literally, even I could come out of the cradle because she explained it so well, and I could go forward. Okay, I'm not in cradle now. I'm crawling.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Beautifully done. Okay, there's a lot of feedback by most of the masters. Thank you, all the masters, for your participation, for your encouragement and everything. Because we're running out of time, it's already 9:13. I do not like to keep you all waiting, because this is the time. It's 9 something for us. A time for us to take our dinner, and I'm sure time for you all to go take your dinners also. So I do not like to keep you waiting for that. So with that, thank you. Full of gratitude. I'm full of gratitude and full of love for each one of you for joining us today. Thank you. So with this, I will end the session. We'll meet again to next Friday. So before that, it is our intention to have the same session in Tamil. The same. We would like to run the session in Tamil also. So any one of you can speak in Tamil, please come and join me. Okay. I am not very fluent in Tamil, but I can manage. So I'm looking for somebody, some Tamil masters to join me to share this in Tamil. So with that, my gratitude to all of you. Thank you. I'll meet all of you again next week, and I will talk to each one of you on what chapters you have to do. Okay. So Master Sridevi Garu, you'll be still doing chapter 3, and the rest we will discuss offline later. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Have a good weekend. Lots of love. Lots of love.